Welcome to My Marietta, where we explore the people, the events, and the stories that make My Marietta amazing. Today we have a special guest, Johnny Fulmer, who helped to actually come up with the idea for the Marietta Square Farmers Market. So join me for this very exclusive interview. Welcome back. Today I have the honor of being with Johnny Fulmer, who helped to organize the Marietta Square Farmers Market. Tell me a little bit about who you are and just sort of what you do.
We moved to Marietta in '92, and in '95 we bought a business which was down the street, a couple of stores, and then a few years later we opened up the Church Street Market down in the old gas station.
Oh, okay.
And we were there for 4 or 5 years, and this space became available, and we combined 2 stores into this location. We looked at Marietta on Saturdays and said, we need to wake up Marietta on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
Because it was a little sleepy and a little quiet. And on a trip to New York City to visit our son, he said, let's go down to the Green Market.
Okay.
Well, I didn't really know exactly what that was, so we went down to Union Square, and there was activity, vendors, retail around that area was outstanding. People were excited to be there, and I said,
Right.
you know, Susan and I both coming back on the plane said, you know, this is something that we might could use to wake up Marietta and create not only business for ourselves but business for the retail community.
So that was in what year you said?
About 2000 we started the process of going to the city because of street closures and just getting logistics together on it, and we were able to get together with them thanks to Bill Dunaway and Van Perlberg and Beth Tippins, and we planted the seed, and it took a little while for it to grow, and finally they agreed to let us open up a small market over in the Church Street Baptist Church parking lot right on Church Street.
Okay.
And we were there for 4 or 5 years, and there was we really wanted to move the market to the main street because we thought that that would help more
Right.
vendors. And at that time, there were only 3 markets in Marietta, in the Atlanta metro area, us, Morningside, and one other one.
Yeah.
So it was a unique product, and it took us a while to gather the growers, which is, you know, it's a farmer's market, you need growers.
Right.
And that was
the
not
organic farmers.
It was not an easy thing to get because it was there were not a lot of young people in it, and the people that were growing were, do we want to get up at 4 o'clock on a Saturday morning and come and bring product where we may or may not sell it?
Right.
We overcame the obstacles, and we started out in the church parking lot with about 18 or 20 vendors. And when we moved to North Park, we jumped to 65 or so vendors, plus the customer base just exploded.
Yeah.
And
So
all positive.
So we all know what the Marietta Square Farmers Market is, but there might be people who are watching this video or this video show who've never come down here, have never experienced it. So just kind of share with me, what is it, you know, exactly like?
Year round on Saturday, 9 to 12. The Sunday market is May through October, and it's from 12 to 3. It's a smaller market with about 30 to 35 vendors. And we sell everything, of course, from vegetables to fruit, cheese, honey, bread, meats. It's a well-rounded market. We do not do arts and crafts or anything like that. Don't do textiles. This is got to be grown, made, or produced in Georgia.
Okay, so what you're doing is different than the artisan market, because
Yes.
I think people, I know I personally get that confused. So
Right.
So the Marietta Square Farmers Market is food and produce and things that you can basically eat for the most part.
That is correct.
Except for the guy who sharpens my knives.
Right.
I need the knife sharpened.
It took us 5 years to find somebody to sharpen knives. And it's a hit. Where do you go to get your knife sharpened?
Oh, it's
hard to find. But let's just look at honey. Brian Higgins was one of our original vendors, and I think we have 6 vendors from the original group that we started out in the church parking lot that are still with us today. Correct. Brian Higgins was one of our first vendors, and he is a fanatic for making sure that everything is raw, pure, and not refined. So it's right out of the hive.
And he'll take time. This is what's also great about the Marietta Farmers Market, the Marietta Square Farmers Market, is he'll take time to explain it to you.
Sure.
That's one of the great things about all the vendors that are here. This is their craft. You know, they're the ones that are pulling the lettuce out of the field and picking the tomatoes.
But when you're buying and you have a question, you're asking the person that grew it or made it.
Yes.
Right there. So you're getting the real information from the proper people.
And it hasn't been shipped on a truck and sat there for 2 days, so it's so fresh. Like the lettuce that we get will last 2 weeks versus the lettuce I get at the grocery store. So I think if you go back, I mean, that was 19 years ago.
Yeah,
already.
correct.
That's hard to believe, right? But 19
flies.
years ago, the trend for farm to table and organic hadn't really picked up much steam.
Right now, we have several restaurants here in the area that are buying from our vendors on a Saturday morning, or they're getting it delivered to them. And occasionally, one of our vendors will say, you know, I've got so much restaurant business that I'm not going to be able to do the farmer's market because I can't support it with product.
Yeah.
Because I'm bringing product to the restaurants as a farm to table, and there's several here on the square that are doing that right now.
So yeah, that's an interesting point, because as you were building the market, the initial plan was we need to liven it up, get people here on Saturday mornings, and then one of the byproducts of that is that the local restaurants are buying the produce from the people who, I mean, and so it's benefiting everybody.
Yes, and you know, this has also become a social event.
Of course.
We see some of the same customers every Saturday morning. We know them by name. We talk, shop, and it has become what we didn't realize, a social event on Saturday mornings and Sundays.
Yeah, and I know personally, my husband and I, we ride our bikes here most every Sunday or Saturday, just one for the exercise, but we like to get our produce, and then we go to the Marietta Pizza Company, and we have a piece of pizza and a beer, and then we head home, you know.
I'll tell you what we also see. We see a lot of young people that are moving to this area and is getting as close to the square as they can get, because they ride their bikes, they push the baby buggies, they bring their dogs. And you know, we sponsor the Greyhound Rescue, which is part of the market on Saturday mornings, and it's been a hit because the kids love the Greyhounds.
Yeah.
And it's a family affair, a family event, and it takes the political community, the growers, the organizers. Everybody has to work together to make this successful.
Yes.
And we have been able to do that.
Yeah, I think what you've done for our community is, it can't even be measured in words, you know, because that was like, I get all emotional here. It's like it was like a catalyst for all of the other things. And, you know, in our business, we are real estate agents, and we see people, everybody wants to come to the square right now. Mm-hmm. And so it's helped improve the property values, and the whole area has just changed and blown up. So
sure has.
You are a big part of that, and we just want to thank you for that. Well, thank you for taking time to meet with us. You have been a great asset to Marietta and the square.
Thank you very much.
This is the Church Street Market
and
the Keeping Room. But also come to the Marietta Farmers Market. I'm going on Saturday. Cannot wait. I have to get my knife sharpened and pick up some produce. But this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you.